course, got a long way to go. And speaking of middle linebacker 54, really made his rush or blitz, but anyway, bull rush just shows what he's capable of doing there. And so I liked those two today. I liked Taco. I thought Taco really, he in 71, that was good and competitive down there. That's a different game going on down there than it is out here, throwing and catching.
Do you see a more relaxed and comfortable Zeke, considering what was kind of hanging over him a year ago?
Well, I just think he looks veteranish. I think he looks confident. I think he's getting good hard work in, fundamental work in. He just looks sound to me. We were commenting watching him today on that very aspect. Just looks like he's a veteran out here. And so I'm glad to see him getting that solid work in. But that's an impressive bunch of backs out there that we've got physically. And so just the whole group, it's a good-looking group.
Is Beasley losing that slot receiver tag, you think, with how much you guys are moving him around? You're trying to get him to lose that tag?
Well, I think, we'll see more of him, but I think you'll see more of all of them. I think you're going to see more position flex, for lack of a better way to say it, versatility. I think you're going to see them all moved around. They're going to have to pay different places. At 10, you can watch him out there and see that he's got to be out there a lot. Defense got to account for him, and they don't have to account for him if he's not carrying the ball or receiving the ball. So my point is, he's got to show that we'll use him, and then he'll give defenses a lot to worry about as a decoy too.
Any update on Cedric Wilson on his shoulder yet?
Yeah, he's going to miss some time. He had that last year, played with it, but did miss some time, and it's a concern.
Is it a labrum or a torn labrum, or what is it?
I don't know if it's the degree, but it's the same shoulder. He popped it out, and then in the same move, they hit his arm, and it popped it back in. So, but it's definitely something that we're going to have to take a look at, and potentially has an impact here in training camp.
Have they had some more receivers?
Well, of course, you got to have numbers at receivers no matter what, just because you got to do the drills and don't want to overuse the legs of a lot of the ones you've got. So you got to keep your numbers right at receiver. And if we need to, we'll make them right in terms just numbers, just camp numbers.
You seeing the energy you want out here?
What?
The energy in camp?
Yeah. It's good to see these young guys. Boy, and I like these coaches. It's, I think, always been fun to coach young guys. And we've had the best years I've been involved in pro football with young teams. We were the youngest team when we won the first Super Bowl that I had a chance to be involved with. And I can just sense it. I don't know if it's the fact I know the numbers and it just makes you feel that way, but still I can sense an enthusiasm.
So you're predicting a Super Bowl?
No, not with that. We're going to try to.
You made that comparison.
We're preparing to compete for Super Bowl.
Reserve.
Mr. Jones, we see the team out here practicing every day, but how does an owner like yourself prepare for the upcoming season?
Well, I think it's not hard, not as hard as it is for these players, but I think that Oxnard does that for me, seriously. Yesterday, about this time of day yesterday, we have options as the Cowboys about when, how much time we spend out here, where, that type of thing. And you need afternoons like this one or yesterday afternoon, and that answers your question right there. There's just a element of mentality that goes with this nice freshness that keeps the players physically actually getting more reps and having a better mindset. So this gets me going. Staying in my room at the dorm, I've been, I think, in this same room for about 11, 12 years. And I tell everybody I go in and make sure that everybody's get a good night's sleep, prepare, then I go out the other door and go up here to the hotel. I'm teasing. I'm not teasing.
Which one is it?
Both.
How's Dak look?
I think just solid, down to business. He had a great mini camp. He had a great he had great OTAs, but boy, he's into it. I like what he's doing. Now we're doing a lot of different things. Some of you may have seen it and noticed it, but there's a lot of different things being done out here, and some of the blocking that we're doing with, and some of the things that he's doing, calling the blocking, and that's real good to see. I think not just because they're new coaches, but because it was intended to mix it up real good, and Dak is the key to all that. His ability to make the calls before the snap, much less after the snap. He's having a good. He's had a good off season.
How do you spend the off day tomorrow?
Actually, we have personnel first thing in the morning, and we always do on an off day. So we'll have a real early personnel meeting, and then we'll look at some. And then we've got a few. I've got a couple of meetings with players tomorrow.
What do you think about what Will's doing with his guys in between periods out here in practice, making them get a little workout in?
I think Will is living vicariously through the guys that can move out there. He's a bad-looking injured man when he's humping around out here, isn't he? I told him, I said, why is it somebody looks smooth on those? And that's a shame. That kind of makes you scratch your head when you're out here at his time and popping Achilles. But we're having a lot of fun with Will on this, for sure.
Well, what did you do with the Will and Cohen?
Well, for these guys that I thought talked a good game, they're doing something else with their feet, or they wouldn't be getting these torn ligaments and tissue injuries. But I don't think it's in their diet, for sure.
How's your health?
Great. I actually am in the best health I've been in probably 5-6 years at this camp. Really the best I've felt.
Will you be going up to Canton this year?
Yeah, I was doing this MRI, and they said I had of a 40-year-old.
What?
Of what? The enthusiasm of a 40-year-old.
Okay.
Are you going to go up to Canton for the Hall of Fame this year?
I am. I'm going up for the day. I'll be there. It won't be there late for the game. Then we have an all day there the next day, and then be coming back.
Your thoughts on this year's class of the Hall?
Well, I'm just, Ray Lewis, those linebackers, those players, it's a great class. Great class, well deserved. As I've said earlier, my thoughts on Terrell. Terrell was an outstanding player with us. I have a great relationship with Terrell. And I'm glad he's being recognized, and that's all I'll say about it.
Okay.
Okay?